All right, folks, these MAGA people are absolutely insane, doing all they can, of course, try to erase us. Let's go to my alma mater, Texas A&M University, where the Texas A&M University system regents are going to vote later this week on a proposal to ban classes on race and gender ideology unless these courses receive approval from the institution's president or a designated representative. This is the latest step in the conservative effort to eliminate what they perceive as liberal-leaning teaching from Texas universities. If passed, Texas A&M system, which serves 175,000 students and is the second largest university system in the state, will become the first institution to explicitly prohibit teaching related to race ideology. It'll be the first institution to bar teaching to race ideology explicitly. According to these white folks, race ideology is defined as a concept that seeks to shame a particular race or ethnicity, accusing them of being oppressors in a racial hierarchical conspiracy, assigning them less value as contributors to society, imposing intrinsic guilt, or promote activism instead of instruction. Okay, so here's what's really at play here, Mustafa. And people need to understand something right here. So in Texas, these white MAGA folk, they believe that the University of Texas is just foregone being a liberal institution. So what they decided to say, hey, Texas A&M is going to become their playground. It's going to become the conservative institution of the state. That's really what's going on here. And you've got these border regents who are doing the bidding of that crazy, nonsensical Governor Greg Abbott, who announced he's running for re-election. And this is the reason why I really hope people get out and vote in serious ways. Abbott should be defeated. And these border regents need to stop sitting here being some scared punks, including the ones at Texas A&M. And it goes to show you how idiotic these people are. Texas A&M has significant issues when it comes to attracting black and other minority students. And this ain't going to help, but it goes to show you what MAGA is doing in America.
Yeah, well, for some reason they're afraid of truth, right? Because when you look at these classes, it's all it is really history. Folks just laying it out for folks about what has transpired in the past, who was impacted, how has it limited opportunities, and instances also about bringing forward, the excellence that exists in the black community and the brown community and other communities, and folks end up fearing that. So if you want to make sure that you're protecting truth, if you want to make sure that you're protecting history, then of course we have to get engaged and we have to vote, but we also got to hold people accountable. And we talk about that on the show all the time. So whether it's Board of Regents or other individuals who are making choices in that space, then we've got to make sure that they understand what the set of expectations are. And if you don't do that, then folks will feel, one, if they want to do the right thing, that they're out there by themselves. Two, if they don't want to do the right thing, that there won't be any repercussions.
Cameron?
I think Texas A&M is in a unique and interesting place now. Texas A&M also, with this going on, this is also juxtaposition that they are in a major $100+ million investment in their football and in their sports system as another way to hopefully draw students, and I think draw a lot of black students from both in-state and out of state. And it's interesting to how they plan to look to erase our history.
That ain't working. That ain't working. That ain't never worked. I'm letting you know that ain't never worked. So. No, it hasn't. I mean, bottom line is it hasn't. And A&M has look. You got a whole bunch of us, black people who graduated from A&M. Our kids grew up the Aggie way and ain't going to the university. So it ain't working. But again, they love DEI Saturdays though. They love seeing black talent on that football field.
But they won't teach our history in the classroom. And that was the point I was making, is that they want to continue to put all this money and hopefully turn themselves into a larger football powerhouse in this interesting NIL world we're in. And they're looking to do that on the back of black talent across their sports. But then when those same students need to go into the classroom and may want to deal with African-American studies, may want to learn something more than a whitewashed history of our people, they won't be able to find it in those history books. So it's discouraging. I'm hoping this is just another rallying cry to get a lot of people, not just the folks who are voting around the state, to really look at Governor Abbott and look at who's their representatives. But also, hopefully, this is another piece and something on the board that gets people who are on the couch in Texas, because I think this all feeds into a system, and Texas has been so egregious in so many different ways that they're looking to utilize their power to erase our history. And quite frankly, we just can't stand for it.
Hey, Kelly, it's simple. What you're seeing is the attacks on black folks and others all across this country. It's happening at the federal level, state level, it's going to the local level. And I keep telling people, the way you shut these people up is you throw them out of office. Texas has the most eligible black voters in the country. When Beto O'Rourke ran against Greg Abbott, 75% of young people 30 and under did not vote. There's a way to defeat them, and that's the ballot box. Because the governor in Texas appoints the University Board of Regents. You get a new governor, you get new regents.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, this is McCarthyism with a Texas accent, and I'm not about to mimic a Texas accent because that's not my style, but that's what it looks like to me. Because when a state bans classes based on race and gender, that's not policy, that's not in the best interest of the student. That's political violence against black and brown people. That's political violence against queer and women scholars, right? This isn't about classrooms. It's about control. It's not ideology. You're talking about black studies. So when you're talking about these things and in these veiled attempts to, basically pull the wool over people's eyes, like, this is about black and brown people and you wanting to control the narrative of y'all being ain't shit. Y'all don't want the world to know that y'all ain't shit. That's really all it boils down to. So you can ban the course, but you can't ban reality when it comes to these things. And to your point about the vote, I mean, that goes across the board, not just in Texas. We have to vote. We have to use the political power that we have while we still have it to get this type of ideology out of main discourse. We have to use what we have to push what we want. And what we want is diversity. What we want is inclusivity. What we want is equity. That's what DEI stands for. And we need to start saying it just like that. So for people who say they're anti-DEI, so you're anti-diversity. That's what I'm hearing. You're anti-inclusivity. That's what I'm hearing. Not you're anti an acronym that you don't want to spell out, because then we're actually calling you out on your shit.
Well, we'll see what they do, and I'm just letting them folks know right now, you ain't doing yourself no favor with black folks when it comes to the future of Texas A&M. But again, they want A&M to be the most conservative, whitest university in the state. That's their goal. That's their strategy. But again, they sure don't mind they black ball players. So that Dr. Greg Carr always says. If black ball players decide to say, you know what, we're not going to reward these universities like Texas A&M who don't give a shit about black people, trust me, they don't go to those universities. They ain't got no sports programs.
Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase, and I'm here with a very important message. We are at a turning point in the black community where we must have equity in the apps we use that scale to billions of dollars. But this time, we own the infrastructure, we own the culture, and we shape the future. And Fanbase is the future. Fanbase combines the free functionality of Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube into an all-in-one platform built for the evolution of social media and monetization. With over 1.4 million users, that's real proof that we are shifting the conversation of tech ownership and equity for creators. So right now, I want you to go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest today. The minimum to invest is $399. That gets you 60 shares of stock in Fanbase at $665 a share. This marks a turning point in black ownership of social media. If we don't take this opportunity to own social media right now, we will always be customers to our own creations. And that can't go on. So once again, go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest today. We must own the platforms where our voices live, our stories matter, and where our culture drives the world. Thank you.